Hey everyone, this is Ryder from YoGov and Skip, and it is Wednesday, April 29th. I want to do a quick update on the stimulus checks distribution for a couple reasons. Many of you have reported to us that you're still waiting. Some of you have received, which is great news, and if you have received, uh, you may be curious, broadly speaking, how things are progressing. But because last week the IRS started mailing out the paper checks. This was the first week they started mailing out the paper checks. So I'm going to go over the mailing schedule and some important ways you can check your status and what to expect. And I'm also going to tell you about something we just did, similar to our other trackers we have. We are trying to build in a lot of self-reporting ability for loans and unemployment, with the main reason and purpose to give all of you peace of mind to kind of understand what you can expect. A lot of what's happening now is, even if the government says this is the expected timeline, what we're seeing is that reality is different. Okay, so it's important to self-report, and huge shout out to everyone who's been doing it. And it also, we provide a lot of information. So basically, on your Skip dashboard now, you can opt in to if you have or have not received your stimulus check, and if you have, we great, you're in a good spot. We'll keep you posted on what the general progress is, and also other important links such as any other funding or stimulus packages that Congress passes. Of course, we're going to let you know. And if you haven't received your stimulus, we keep you posted and in terms of timing and what to expect. And one of the things we're going to add on, which we've done with our loan tracking here, these are all our trackers, is put in a day-by-day chart, because so much of this is how much the government can process, right? So this is the EIDL loans, and so much is dependent on the funding they had. It dipped last week because they ran out of funding, and finally it's picking back up because they had an extra 60 billion. So similarly with the stimulus checks, we don't expect there to be a lag in appropriations, but you never know, and that's why it's important to self-report. So that you can get to this page at helloskip.com/stimulus-tracking. That's stimulus-tracking at helloskip.com, or there's a link in the helloskip.com header. Okay, but let me get back to just the important information. So we put up this blog post. I'm also going to leave a link to this blog post in the description. Just to recap, most people will receive 1,200, and probably many of you have already received. So around 90 million Americans have already received what they're going to get via direct deposit. Okay, so if you earn less than 75,000, you're going to get the full 1,200, and 500 extra for every child under 16. And then if you earn below 100,000, you'll get something. It'll just be a less amount. So, and even many of you, what we've been hearing is, last year when you filed taxes, or in 2018, they'll go off 2018 or 2019, by the way, you had direct deposit information, but for some reason the IRS did not have your direct deposit information on file. So unfortunately, that means you have to wait for the paper checks, which is incredibly frustrating for a lot of you. The latest information we're seeing is it's going to take 20 weeks. This CNET put this up today, that the IRS mailed out checks starting last week, and here we go. The IRS estimates it could take up to 20 weeks for everyone eligible to receive one in the mail. Basically, they're processing 5 million a week in reverse order of adjusted gross income. So the lowest income folks will get checks first, and then it goes up to that 99,000 threshold, which is the top end of the spectrum. So that means that some of you may be waiting, unfortunately, till August or September. Now, the IRS has put up a site. First of all, they've been updating a lot on their website, and here they have general information on the economic impact payments, which is useful if you want to understand, some of the details. But probably the most important thing for you is to check the status. You can go to irs.gov/refunds, and again, you can check your refund status, and they give you an estimated date. So that's all well and good, and I certainly recommend that you do that. Now, the flip side is, even with a lot of these programs where they've told you a date, the reality is that you are not receiving what you want on that date. So that's why it's important. We've built this self-reporting tracker. So even if it says, yeah, you can expect something mid-May, end of May, it's important to understand, hey, are we on track? And by the way, there's going to be a forum on that page too, so you can understand, are people getting their May checks or their June checks, or are they being delayed? So all that's super critical for you to understand if you're waiting for that $1,200. Last thing I want to show you today is what to expect in the mail. So these letters were sent out last week and this week. This one came on Monday for people who had direct deposited their $1,200 stimulus payments. So again, you'll get a letter in the mail, but you should keep an eye on your bank account. Of course, for most of you watching this, if you're going to receive paper checks, you'd get this at the same time as your paper check. Okay, so again, it's from, Trump wanted to take some credit, so that's why he sent out this letter. So just sharing that because they've been sending these out. Now, hope this is helpful. Again, I'll leave links to both the blog post and the Skip dashboard where you can self-report and see relative progress compared to others. Thanks again for your support, and please subscribe. It means a lot. We do videos every day, and most importantly, I hope you're staying well, home, and staying safe.